Welcome back. Welcome back to the Detroit is Different podcast studio. And here hosting somebody that definitely is someone familiar with the studio.
I built this place.
I would definitely not go as far as saying all of that.
Brick by brick.
This is my homie. Definitely one of the funniest people I know. And very talented. Big celebration coming up soon.
Yeah.
And a voice that you just already heard.
Yeah.
But not to belabor too much longer. Mr. Adams, Josh Adams, how are you, my brother?
Man, I'm good, man. First and foremost, I want to just say hey, everybody that's on the label, that's on the brand, y'all welcome. For all the work that I put in for so long. And it's looking wonderful in here. Everything is good. I see that right there. I see more cushion foam. Air conditioning was on when I walked in here. It wasn't like that prior to me being here.
Hilarious.
Back in the day when the money wasn't coming in like it is now. But hey, I like to say that I put it all on the line for y'all to eat. Now I know how Charles Barkley and them feel when all these other guys getting these big checks. And they be like, man, we played for $3 million in my whole career. But nah, man, it's good to be back. Kari Frazier, man, he's still barefoot. What's up, bro?
Yes, sir. Definitely. For so long, the Josh Adams podcast, a part of the Detroit is Different family for 5 years.
Yes.
Detroit is Different After Dark. Myself was a co-host on there, definitely enjoying just talking about, Lord knows, like culturally whatnots and
everything.
So many different things for so long. And then a lot of cool highlights, like rest in peace Kool-Aid. We had a podcast with Kool-Aid before he passed. That's one of my favorite ones. And
had a gender reveal for a lesbian couple.
Hilarious. I do remember that was
Billboard Mo.
Yeah, Billboard Mo was a classic as well.
The Taco Debaco.
Taco Debaco was one of the classic ones, and then
Keep the
what
change.
was it? The 7 baby mamas or 9 baby mamas? I don't know.
I
what
was
that
just with JD the other day. JD has he's still at 7. He's still at 7 baby mamas.
Seven baby mamas with JD. It
just with JD.
A lot of what is JD talking about? But
yeah, we can't talk about it on this platform. But he's still doing his thing. He's still doing his thing. He's still taking advantage of white women.
No.
For sure.
The good old JD. But you here connecting. This is actually your second visit, so we can jump right on into what's been happening and everything. Comedy at this craft for a while.
Yep.
And with that craft, definitely expanding upon how you go about it, where you set up your premise, where your jokes, and then connecting who your audience is and expanding in business.
Yeah.
And definitely one of those voices that people know in Detroit comedy you're going to have to reckon with.
Yeah, for sure, man. I just steady growing what I've been doing. I kind of just step back from a lot of stuff to focus on one thing. I got this mentality now where it's like I'm going to build an ark every year. So it's almost like when God he got with Moses, he was like, look, build an ark. And God,
Noah?
Like, Noah? Which one built the ark?
Noah. Noah's ark.
Hey, I call him Moses sometime. Yeah.
Moses parted the sea.
Yeah, he parted the sea.
And left.
And then that's why they had to build the ark for Noah. So, yeah, like Noah, you know what I'm saying?
But
basically,
go to Bible study.
No, God, what people don't get, God told him, he asked Moses first. And he's like, God, I can split the sea. I don't need an ark. So then he went to Noah, but people don't have that version of the book. That's the King Lamont version. But, yeah, I'm basically, bro, building, like, I'm trying to focus on one thing. And I've been with that. I've been really just getting further by like, putting my focus on this thing. And then once that's done, I move on to the next thing. And then it just seemed like once I open that door with this, a lot of the other doors open. So, bro, I've been staying out these new comedians' way and these old comedians' way. I've just been staying in my path because there's a lot of ignorance going on in the game nowadays.
All right, ignorance going on in the game. We'll touch on that. But more so, let's talk about, you got a show coming up. You've been doing a birthday show for years now.
About 3 years now. I missed last year. I missed the 39th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
But I came back this year, and this was just like in the midst of me doing my thing. It was like, all right, man, do I want to do a birthday show? And then I reached out to the House of Comedy because that's where I've been doing it at. And basically they was like, yeah. And I was going to take the 3rd, August the 3rd. And they were just like, the weekend was open of 9th and the 10th, which is the weekend after my birthday. I got it. And 2 shows, bro. Me and some of my friends, bro, we going to turn up at the House of Comedy downtown next to the Fox.
Definitely. So
comedians, poets, you might not know who show up, but everybody is my favorite. And it's just going to be like, they going to come through and knock everything down, and then I'm going to come through at the end and really just close it down.
So when you think about like more of just let's talk a little bit about the arc of rooms and comedy. A lot of things are happening where more comedy attention around Detroit comedy is blossoming. What's it like? What is changing? You say you're sticking to your own lane. What does that lane look like, and how are some of the new spaces and venues for comedy impacting how it feels?
Well, it's as far as like now, it's a lot of new comedians coming up. Put it like this: there's not a lot of quality rooms to go do none of that. So I personally don't go to everything no more. Like I used to love going out and grabbing the mic. Now I've kind of just it's more addition from subtraction, and basically, bro, like I don't really out as much no more on the scene, especially like urban side. I go do open mics kind of in the white rooms. It's no such thing as like open mics in the black rooms. They all kind of shows, and they really not really well produced. And
so first, let's unpack that.
All right,
open mic for a comedian. What is that?
It's walking in and basically trying out your new material. Like when you doing comedy, you got to go somewhere and figure out how you work this material out. You know, you can't just can I slide stuff in at a book show? Yeah, that I'm getting paid for. But it's like, no, I got to go try these things out. So it's almost like practice for a basketball player or a football player or
when you're trying out new material, how do you judge if it's working, if it's not working, when it needs more work? Like what's
by the laughs you get or the laughs you don't get. And a lot of these open mics, it's a lot of comedians in there. Comedians don't laugh. So if you get a comedian to laugh, then you know you got a joke. Like comedians for the most part to come up and be like, they might not laugh out loud, they be like, that's funny, and then they might have a tag for you like, hey, you should try this or try that.
What's the tag?
A tag is an add-on to the joke. Like, so if I had a joke, about my kids, and I said, yeah, my kid did 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be funny if your kid said 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try that. Let me see if that'll work for me. If it worked, I'll try it. If it's not, then I won't do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
When the comedians give a tag, because we often talk about this, because I love comedy. Is that in voice of who the comedian is, or is it just funny?
It should be. It should be. Like, I mean, I would never tag somebody's stuff and it wouldn't be something they would say. So if I'm thinking of something that would be funny for Kari to say, Kari the comedian, I would be like, oh, Kari would talk about wooden beads and passports and stuff like that. So I would keep it in the realm of the community. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't come have nothing wild for you to say. Nah, if I'm talking about Darius Bennett, then I can go as left if I want to because I know where his voice go. So it's like a writer for anybody. Like you would give somebody a tag that you feel would sound natural to them because the joke wouldn't work if it don't make sense. Like even if the audience don't know you as a comedian, sometimes you will say something and it don't work because they like, I don't think that would be something you would say or think.
All right, you've been doing comedy how long?
I think we at 18 now.
So 18 years. It's a grown up. It's an adult right now.
A grown person.
It can
Smoke
vote.
Cigarettes.
Your comedy can vote right now.
And it will vote for nobody.
So with that being said, and Lord knows that's provocative, but beyond that whole premise, now when you think about what you're doing on stage, what's the big difference from now year 18 than when you started year 1?
Oh, well, bro, I was 21, 22. I was talking about things that I would be into at 21, 22, not turning 40, man. I got kids, settling down, living a different kind of life. Like, it's still me, but it's just older. And, like, it's stuff that I just ain't on that I was back in the day, bro. I'm more irritated by stuff. I think that come with getting old. That's why I don't like none of these new people, none of them.
So when you talk about, like, being more irritated, that's, like, the content, but what about your approach towards it? How do you look at framing jokes now? Before, were you like with a notebook writing down? Are you still writing? Do you take notes? What's the process so different now, 18 years in versus when you were starting?
I mean, it's still the same. I still kind of just come up with it in my head and kind of improvise a lot of stuff. But I do write it down because now I got to understand managing these thoughts. I got to be able to keep up with them because sometimes I look back at my notebook and be like, I don't know what cream cheese bagel mean, but now I gotta go back and keep up with that because it's like, I don't know if I'm getting old or it's just like my mind moved too fast for me. Like I have a thought and be like, oh, that's a great idea, and if I don't hurry up and write it down and record it on my phone, I lose it.
You said recording your phone. That's another premise or another space where
another way, yeah, because sometimes hearing myself say it, I can get what it is. I guess it might be like a melody for a singer. Like you can write it down, but you like, how was the melody? So it's like when I said it, what did I mean when I said it? What did I feel? Like, because, the feeling means more as far as material when it comes to it. Because I can just, like I said, it's so many different mechanisms that go into comedy now. So I'm definitely, older I get, I'm leaning more on the science side of it, as opposed to like the magic that I leaned on, that I was blessed with in the game, to come in here and to be able to make things happen out of nowhere. Now I'm leaning more on the mechanism and the science of it. So it's like, oh, I got to remember the stuff that I had wrote down and then use it and apply it to what's going on the stage.
All right, and you say knowing that science and learning that science, and everything is still like uniquely your voice.
Yeah.
As you've gone on this journey. So in knowing that science, connecting to your voice, in those connections, do you think if you were to look back at like some of your old notebooks, some of your old jokes, would you be able to like pick up the premise of like, okay, this is where I was at with like, let's just say a topic like, this is where I was at with watching sports 10 years ago.
Yeah.
This is where I was at watching sports when I started. Right now, as you say, like, are you like basically like picking up from like some of those same premises, context?
I haven't went through any of them, but like I said, me going back looking at something that Josh said at 29, I'll probably be looking at myself crazy, like, man, what was I thinking? I would probably even make fun of the thought that I had then. Like, man, at 29, I thought this about sports. And here we are now, me being 39, I think completely different. Or just children. Because at 29, I had one kid. You know, so now I got two. I'm like, my whole mindset is just different now based on just the life that I've chose by doing what I've been doing and living how I've been living. So, but I know I'm funny, but just to go into what you're saying, could I take a premise from back in the day and make it funny? Yeah. Like, because now I know how to really just make stuff. Like, I've always been able to make stuff funny, but now I get it. I get what makes me funny, like the fuel that turns me on as far as like comedy wise. So I can look at a joke. I've done it. I've done it before. Like before this age, I would look back at my old notebook and be like, oh, I had this thing that I couldn't make funny. And now at this age in comedy, or just maturing in comedy, now I know how to make this joke funny. I didn't know how to do it back then. Now I'm there. Like, it's nothing that I can't look at my notebook at and be like, oh yeah, I can make that funny. If I want to talk about it though. It's like, it was all sex and some wild stuff. I mean, it's still gonna be some of that, but it ain't gonna be as much now.
So even from that premise, one of the other things you brought up in this discussion was you said black and white rooms, or urban rooms, as people say, which black room or whatever.
Coonocracy.
What's coonocracy?
No, I just like that word. Shout out to Umar. The coonocracy.
So a white room.
Yeah.
Break that down, and what's the difference?
Well, the mainstream room is where all comedians go. Black, white, Asian, Indian. Just, you know, you can find all different walks of life in there. Black rooms, you're just going to find black people in there. You'll find some white people that's sprinkled up, that's brave enough to come in there and do a black room. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, black rooms really, they hard on you just walking in there being gay and talking about it. You got to really be on your game. But like I say, in the mainstream rooms, they let anything come in. Like, you can come in and be anything and have anything to say. So that's just the difference. As far as like, the style of play in each room is different. You know, white rooms, you can go in there and talk about whatever. It's all on the floor. Black rooms have a specific tree that they pick from, and in the mainstream room, it's a specific tree. It's different stuff that they pick from over there. So I just happen to be able to go to whatever room and pull out of whatever tree I want to.
So depending upon the audience, how does that dictate what you're going to do? Do you have like your preset, like if you go in this mainstream room versus this urban room, like is it... Or are you flowing with the energy of the audience? Yeah,
I just flow. But like, I've always been able to go to either room and do me. Like, I've never had to go in there and change up, code switch. I've learned this from like people working in the corporate world. I didn't know that was a thing. Like you probably can break down better than I could. But like going in, like dealing with a white person and then going over to a black person and dealing with them completely different. Like just switching up your whole and somebody actually watching you code switch. I don't know how you would break that down and in your intellectual mind, you know what I'm saying, all the books you read. But yeah, like I can go and basically do me however and be clean or be as raw as I want to be in either room and still get my point across. Yeah.
So even within like that set list, like I remember back with rapping, one of the things that Proof used to do was, and I mean, it's not like he was the first person, but he would challenge us to freestyle and challenge everybody really, where he just like have a box of different things and you just pull it out and have to freestyle about whatever that may be, connecting.
Yeah.
in that same vein, I've seen even on the show sometimes like you all as comedians would joke about and laugh off of things and connect to different things just because the funny would be pressing in most comedians' mind.
That's like Crowded, what I do over here in Tremmy. Like that's just it's an improvised show, like with the audience in mind. So I may ask you something, or you may yell out something. Like you yelled out, like, I didn't know Malcolm X's father was tied to a railroad track.
Yeah.
And I took that wherever I were in my honest. It was in an honest place because I never knew, and so whatever came out was just me being me and me being myself at that time, and it went where it went, and it was pretty funny. And that's something I could probably turn into a joke if I ever go back and really look over that footage. But yeah, like
because I could tell you the premise. It was the comedian that came up before, I guess, had like some static with one of the other comedians or something, but he had this interesting mustache.
Okay.
He was like, you look like one of them villains that would tie somebody to the railroad tracks. You know, and it's like, we got all these black people in here. I hope nobody black ever been tied to a railroad track. And then that's when I shouted that.
He was a white man, too. And Corey was like, well, Malcolm X's father was tied to a railroad track, white man.
I didn't.
I was like, whoa, okay, Corey, yeah, that's what's up. Didn't know that.
I did not.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that's exactly how it happened. But see, but everybody can't connect that, especially in that amount of time. Like being able to just take ideas and just your mind just ping, 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 ping it together, and it ain't gonna always be perfect. Like a lot of people didn't know that God went to Moses first and told him to build the ark until I came up here and told y'all that. And then it was like he didn't want to do it. He's like, God, I can split the Red Sea. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna take it to Noah, and he took it to Noah. But everybody didn't know that. We found it out here today in the house that I built.
Hilarious.
Y'all gotta name one of these rooms after me.
The Josh Adams room.
Yeah. You got a name, especially this one. I went crazy in this room.
Hilarious.
This the one. You can give Piper the other one.
Hilarious.
The woke feminine room. Give me this one. I had some things in here. We done spilled liquor in here. But let's get back on track, man. This room ruined a lot of my relationships.
Ruined a lot of my relationships.
The same too.
The same too. So within that whole thing, let's talk a little bit about that journey with content creation.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that you're doing that I reached out to is I always thought that your comedy hits like that arc of like in thinking in marketing, a lot of black women, specifically like 25, 35.
Yeah.
Like really like growing, thinking about kid, in relationship, pre-marriage, like that era, you know, like that is such your audience.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you started doing, and not saying other people ain't not gonna laugh at what you offer, but it's rare to see that type of audience. Shout out to Clever the Great. I was about
Shout
to
out
go to the
his
other
birthday
one.
today. Happy birthday,
Really?
boy.
Okay, shout out to Clever.
Yeah,
So,
man, 42. Good. God bless you. He 42. He don't look like it.
hilarious. Clever ain't that old.
What he gonna do? Beat me up? 42.
Yeah, he gonna pull up on you definitely.
No, he look 13. He want to be 13 forever.
So you all did an event where it would just be so rare and it traveled different places where you actually had an audience of women there that weren't women that were like the significant others of the performers. You know what I'm saying? Because
What event you talking about?
When you all were doing Going Up.
Oh yeah, going up on a Tuesday. Yeah, going up Tuesdays was that. Like that was kind of like the model of of the base that I have now.
And I remember from that audience connecting and just that experience, I was like, okay, you have the type of audience that I've seen walk through weird, and I mean, I've done events at places like this too, where like parking lots is weird, and they in stilettos too, fighting it through
on a Tuesday,
looking fly, but still want to sit there and they want to come out and laugh. So I always was like, okay, you have like that R&B audience, and right now you're syncing R&B videos and just looking at them again from a different lens as a comedian, and I thought that is like so genius in your lane of a lot of those stories.
Well, you know, we did the Living Single karaoke, which, I mean, R&B is my thing, bro. Like, I listen to R&B more than anything. I probably sing more than anything. Like, if you just around me throughout the day, I'm singing more than anything. being funny is just something I am, but like I sing more than anything and just listen to R&B all the time. Like if you go on a road trip with me and you a dude, you think I'm gonna try you at some point because I'm gonna be listening to Brian McKnight. I'm gonna just because that's just the music I listen to. Like when I used to go play football game, like football in high school, I used to listen to R&B before I went out there and we lose by 40.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember you said that, and that's what led to the Living Single karaoke event.
That we slapped out, and that it was 150 women in one place, and it was no males in there but me and Kari.
Hilarious.
And the DJ, my boy Boog, comedian Boogie Alton.
Yeah,
and
shout out Boog.
It was crazy. So ever since then, I always been trying to figure out how to like just build my tribe, man. Build my little pocket of people that, hey man, we gonna listen to good music and we gonna laugh and we gonna drink good, we gonna eat good, and we gonna go home and we gonna do this again and again and again and again until we grow this to whatever. And that's why I started doing the R&B VOs. It's like R&B voiceovers where I just would watch videos and see clips of them and be like, man, looking back on it now, this was funny or that was funny, or how did I feel about this song and how do the lyrics hit differently now? So I'm just, just connecting that at this point, like, because it is natural and it's fun, and I get to listen to R&B, and then in my perspective, I used to get to express my perspective over this, and then other people that see it, they laugh, enjoy it, and they've been really responding to that. So I've been trying to, like, really figure that out because it's going somewhere, but I don't know where it's going.
And with that, because you really do, because, I mean, through you, I know who Snow Allegra is, more about Jasmine Sullivan's catalog, and so many other artists where it's just like, just listening to hip-hop, because most dudes in our, and you
all sugar free. You know what I'm saying? You big on sugar free.
I listen to all types of hip hop, but definitely West Coast. So sugar free in the mix. I listen to, let's see, what was I listening to today? I definitely listen to Short, but I listen to all types.
Nah, Carl, that's what you listen to.
No, I listen to all types.
But still donate and give him grants. I don't want y'all to think that's all he listens to. He has a very wide variety of music he listens to, but it's just got a lot of pimp in it.
It's
a lot of ponytails,
a lot of ponytail music too. But I like West Coast.
We don't play with the reckless eyeballing.
I like a lot of West Coast rap. So like even so in that whole center, like Jason Martin, DJ Quick new album, has like been in rotation heavy under my lens. But like back when Jason was Problem, I've been listening to Problem for years too. If you are an artist from South Central, Compton, even Sacramento, really, I've been listening to Mozzie a whole lot. Like,
but they get a lot of burn over here in Detroit anyway, though, right? Like, it's something about them like that coast, like the West Coast in Detroit. We got like because they style kind of sound. Okay, put it like this, without me just being too long winded. We was such a fan of that music that now it kind of bled into our rap, and now we got a little Southern, Midwest kind of West Coast bop that they came and kind of took and commandeered. Because if you listen to Not Like Us, Kendrick for a quick second sound like Sada Baby.
Yeah, I mean,
if you catch it,
I think
you know what to listen to.
I definitely feel as though a lot of the, like, just where I'm at, I'm listening to a lot of that music from the G-Funk melodies, and then shout out Butch, that's one of my OGs. I mean, him, T Green, and them were in the West Coast helping craft a lot of that sound, because that sound comes from the Funkadelics in Parliament. Yeah. And hence they wanted that real, or DJ Quick, Dr. Dre, also Pooh, a lot of them wanted that real feel of what that was. So when you look at a lot of those Death Row early credits and everything, and Cube credits and stuff like that, you're finding a lot of those artists like Butch and others that connect and play on that. And shout out DJ Los, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. So you know what I'm saying, that's World One Records for sure.
Yeah. But that's a lot of you listen to. But like I said, I mean, I'm just R&B head, bro. Like, hey,
and connecting to that, you said like even the songs that you used to listen to, because I mean I listen to R&B too, but I'm listening more older, like the stuff my mom would listen to when I was coming up, especially like through that connection in her passing. It's like through the music, I'm hearing stuff differently in the music. So you mentioned it, hearing the lyrics differently just from growing up and experiencing some of the things that they're sharing and talking about.
Oh man, R. Kelly, when a woman's fed up, it hit different. Because when your girl really fed up with you, it's like, oh, I get it. All the pain that he was singing in there, it was like, I used to laugh and just sing it because it was just a good song. But now it's like, oh, it hit different. After the pain, Betty Wright, like, I'm Mr. Charlie, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Charlie.
Are you familiar with that song?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. And you know what I'm saying? And your girl come back and you like, wow, man, she love you in spite of all your foolishness. And now she back. And then she just like, hey, just do right by me, cuz. Like, you done did me dirty. And it's just all this music hit differently at a certain age. And now I'm appreciating it for, it's just like, these are brand new songs to me now. Like, I would love to come back around and do another karaoke or just do a concert. I don't know, man. I don't know where this is headed. But I know R&B and my comedy is going to be closely connected as far as like me doing something. So whatever audience I carve out of that, that's what I'm going to do. So Tom Jordan, you need to get out the way and let me get that boat.
Hilarious. I definitely do think it's a connection. But, you know, the other thing I always listen to is a lot of blues, too. Because that now I hear a lot of those songs differently and the way and the rhythm. And shout out Thornetta. And Luther Badman Keith, Paul Miles, a lot of the blues artists that I've given stages to because it's a different connection in those stories, you know. And I remember one of the times when I was playing some Bobby Bland for you was like, damn, you was saying that? I was like, yeah, man, it's a different arc in some of these stories that I think connect, but hence R&B, rhythm and blues, much of it is interconnected.
The storytelling, bro, it's just really when you hear a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of the music we listen to now, man, it's still some great R&B out here now, man, but I think a lot of it is just mixed into the chase, and it's got one level to it, and they just chasing. It's more of a sexual run, and it's like, that's cool if that's what you into, but it's a time and a place for that. But sometimes, bro, you just want to hear a story, bro. You want to hear what somebody else is going through, and I've seen this before, and I get it. Sometimes you play a song over and over again because it didn't hurt enough. Like, I listen to sad songs because I want to feel that. It's something about it. I hate to say it makes me, I want to connect to that pain because I've been there. So I don't know if it's just like, man, somebody else can relate to me, or if it's just like, oh, I've been there and I ain't there no more. But I definitely have songs that I'll be like, well, I got to listen to this a certain way. I can't be on the freeway flying with this because I've been done hit the freeway and flipped over because it take you to a sad place. So it's just like, I just have a different appreciation for music now, bro. I'm really a connoisseur of all that now. So like you said, bro, I put up a video of Tank. His manager saw it, reposted it, and Tank reposted it. And then I did one about Joe, and Brian Michael Cox commented under it. And it was just like, oh, okay, these people that I'm fans of, just by me doing what I'm doing and showing my appreciation of the music that they're a part of and they make, they just ain't like they say what up when you follow, but it was just like, oh, they see it. So it's like, oh, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So I feel like when you do that, the connectors connect.
And I think it's the other part of this is it's natural because this is where you at anyway. And let's talk a little bit about in that space of content creation because so much now of I was explaining to I was having a conversation not too long ago about just where content creation and there are I guess I don't like to call it like the social media or Instagram comedians, quote unquote. I don't like to segment it like that, but it's definitely an art form.
Yeah.
It's a skill set. And it's completely different than what a comedy show offering is.
Yeah.
And sometimes like putting both worlds together, it's just not the same because that stint of watching in 1 minute to 90 seconds of whatever that joke and that premise is versus expanding now to a person calling back and connecting. It's like a different art form that I'm setting up where I'm really, I think, connecting to a person's creativity and seeing how they build a whole world of whatever their experience is.
I just think if you treat the internet like an art gallery, bro, and understand that in an art gallery, it's different exhibits and they all have a different meaning and it's different styles of painting and it's different this and different that. Everybody can do their thing on the internet. You just got to do it and people will find their way to your side of the gallery and be like, oh, this is what he do and this is how he does it. And so even me just doing like the videos I do, like now I get it, bro. Like I can hope that SNL call me or that Netflix call and give me a deal to do a sketch comedy show, but I can do anything on my phone at any point in time. And I can do some highly produced stuff that's really high quality, or I can do something that's really quick and that's funny and put it up and it's going to be appreciated. And I just been doing that more and more and more. And then I slide my stand-up in there and the clips that go. And especially if it connect to whatever's going on in the world at the time. Because if you saying something that don't connect, then it's just something funny, and then people won't ever they'll pass it on. But now I got songs. I got videos that just I look up, somebody else reposted, and I'm getting likes, I'm getting follows from it. And it's like, it's almost like a song on the internet. It's almost like you make a good song, it's just stream and stream and stream and stream and stream. So I use the internet how everybody else uses it. So the people in the social media who really got it figured out and found they tribe, shout out to them. And it's like, but I'm finding my way over there. But as far as stand up, I'm a master over there.
So let's even talk more so about when you bring both audiences together. How does it feel bringing both audiences together? Because some people that may connect to you through what they see from an Instagram or...
I think they're the same for me, though.
Okay.
I don't believe it's the same for, like, Ha and Jack Funny. Like, I believe, like, the people who see them on the internet, when they come see them do stand-up, it's not going to be a connection. Because, like, I mean, I just look at the videos and be like, can he duplicate what he do on stage? I mean, from the videos on stage, I don't think so. Like, but my comedy in general, who I am, kind of just bleeds through all of that. So if you discover me on a video, which is very possible at this point, and you come see my stand-up, you're going to be cool. You're going to enjoy it. But, like, I just think people who, like, locked in just straight up on social media creating content there, I think they do have two different audiences. A lot of them be like, they'll come pay to see them, and then they be like, unless they figured out stand-up.
Unless it's an art form. But also, like, I was just going to say, like, the premise... now I've seen it with a lot of the younger people in my team and stuff. Like I've sat and now watched a person look at an hour of 1 minute TikTok videos.
I've done it. I do it.
So now you're in that group too.
Yeah.
Whereas I know that sitting and watching a whole premise of a joke, like what was it, a couple weekends ago when Coco and Foolish were at Punchline, and I like to see the comedians. I like to at least see them preferably once or twice a year just to support.
Yeah.
That's where, like, we sometimes even had those discussions. Like, I think a good fan, will probably see you once or twice a year. A great fan is going to see you 2 to 3 times a year.
Yeah.
More than that, it's going to be a difficulty in what that offering is. But with that being said,
I mean, looking at, like I said, I will run through Ha page and just be laughing for about half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Same thing with Jack Funny. But like you said, it's just something different about sitting down and watching Ali Sadiq do what he do.
Yeah.
For an hour on stage. You know what I'm saying? He's even different than than most comedians because as far as those specials, as far as his specials, like when he on stage, I'm sure he probably do something similar to what we do. But he get on stage, bro, and he sit there and just tell a story, bro. He get up there and talk. It's a one-man show for an hour, man. He telling stories. So it's just a very different type of art. They all different. I mean, it's all art. It's just different.
And then the approach sometimes is definitely different with, like I say, grounding to sit to watch something.
Yeah.
One of the cool things that I even told you in Loving Comedy is what LeVar Walker's doing from Chicago, I think, now in Atlanta, but funny as hell because you see the iterations. At least he's putting all the shows up. So I'm watching the iterations of a comedian continue to work, figure out new tags. Like it's like I'm almost feel like I'm watching each iteration in each show, and it's growing. So sometimes, obviously he got a phone in the back. Sometimes it looks better. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the audio's better. Sometimes it's not. He's working through bombing at times. And watching a comedian getting out of a show where the crowd is just uncomfortable. And one of the things I learned from Kool-Aid is a lot of setting up a comedian for setting the audience up to be ready for comedy.
As a host?
Is extremely important. Not just as a host, but as a venue, as a promoter, as the whole process. Because I'm so creative, sometimes I'm trying to put this in here and this here. And da-da-da. Comedy is its own art form that you can provide best case scenario for a lot of comedians sometimes. And hence the talented comedian figures out ways to maneuver through, you got 4 minutes to introduce these people before they get up and go for this fashion show. And then after they get out for the fashion show, we're going to introduce the food. I want you to get a food announcement. Hey, my man is double parked outside. Let them know you about to get towed.
Yeah.
And you've kind of taken people to this world. Then you got to get them back to the non-world. Then you got to get them back to that world.
We got to balance chaos. Yeah. Like you said, like, I mean, in them circles, which I'm still in that space of where I might have to do a show, and then I I have to deal with, like you said, all right, we want to eat at this time, and then people still walking in. So I have to be able to navigate all this and do it flawlessly, and then come out on the other end. A singer, get up there, sing, play music, and whether they listen or not, a song was still sung, you know. But I got to go up there as a comedian and be able to still control this environment no matter what's going on, and keep people on this journey with me. And then when they get off, no, y'all three get back over here. It's almost like taking kids on a field trip, and you got a chaperone and teacher at the same time. It's like, all right, hold on. This, yeah, you might want to listen. This funny. Your shirt ugly, so come here. And it's like you do all of that in the midst of that, and to keep everybody involved as far as that. So like you were saying, as far as LeVar, I'm kind of in that space where I'm shedding all my old stuff, and now I'm turning into this new person. And when you do that, you feel new again, even though my skill set is still high and I can lean on this ability I have to improvise. But it's like, no, I'm building a new set again. So that's where LeVar, I'm assuming, I didn't see it, but when you say, man, I'm watching a bomb, I'm watching them try different stuff, the camera good, the camera bad, bro, that's the constant reinvention of a comedian that we go through. Probably like, man, and now it's probably like every year now, every 2 years, because, you know, you do your set. I mean, as far as somebody like LeVar who's been on TV a couple times and a bunch, and his stuff is seen like that, like I could probably hold on to mine for a little bit, because I ain't out there like that. All my TV stuff, I was pretty much freestyling. So I've never, but I'm just tired of my old stuff, because I'm just tired of it. It's like, bro, I'm not even that guy no more, so I want to shed that skin. So hearing you tell me that made me feel good, just knowing that I'm on the right track, because you get the feeling like you ain't good at this no more. But that's just what come with comedy, man. It's like an imposter syndrome that come back to you over and over again, that keep you humble at a certain level, to be like, no, you always got to work. You can't never stop working. And that's where that's at with LeVar. He just still working, and he just showing you the work.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm appreciating the journey of the work. You know, in some of the jokes, it's like he's expanded upon so much of it. Like he has a Juneteenth joke, and the premise, where it started and where it's at now is like, wow.
Oh,
It's
so
like
he's showing
I'm
you the joke evolution
come together. Yeah, it's like I'm seeing it like go from one place to a whole nother place.
Yeah,
you know, I've seen Howie do that a couple times, where it's like, okay, I've seen Howie deliver this joke 1 year, and this is kind of how he wraps it up. Then I see it 2 years later, and it's like, oh, I didn't even
It's like
think
when
of
we went
that
to go
angle.
see Corey in Toledo. It's like seeing Bernie Mac, the first iteration of the Milk and Cookies joke, to where we see it turn into a whole sitcom.
Yeah.
That ran for however long and is in syndication now. So that's what people don't get about like comedy. And it'd be so funny hearing people like, man, I heard him say that joke before. And it's like, but that's just what comedy is. Like, yeah, going up there making stuff up is cool, but it's like, bro, yeah, like it is some stuff we do have that's just, some people do want to hear some classic stuff. Like how we got some stuff that I always like, I want to hear every time he go up, but how we come up with new stuff. But it's like, Howie, I need that one.
Yeah.
Please. Like I run this show to hear it. Like, Howie, please let me hear that one. Kool-Aid had a bunch of ones like classic stuff. Bobo Lamb, bro. JJ Williamson got some classic material. So, you know, but I gotta get out of being mad at the audience for being spoiled. And that's really what it come down to.
What do you mean by that?
Is that they want something new every time. You know, they want something new every time. But then, you know, you go see Beyonce, but you want to hear the old stuff, even though she got some new stuff that you like, but you do want to hear some of the classic stuff. So it's like, don't hold comedians to, I don't work at the job with you. Like, it's almost like if somebody said the same thing at the job every day, that was like, it's like, I don't work with you. Don't treat me like the funny guy at your job. I'm a superhuman, funny individual. God bless me with a gift. So some of this stuff that I had, everybody ain't heard. But believe me, if you calm down in this 60 minutes, I'm going to say some stuff that you ain't never heard before. If you get some of the other stuff in there, I'm going to weave it in there where it feel like you didn't even know that it was something I said before. But just flow with it. Like, it just treat it like a performance and not like we sitting here kicking it and I'm saying the same thing over and over again and we over at a party and you like, bro, you said that 3 times about dog shoes. I don't want to hear that no more. That's the thing about it. Audiences, like, they want to consume content so bad. They want the new. What's new? It's like, bro, appreciate what's going on right now, man.
So, and speaking of consuming content and where things go, this is something that even Kevin Hart was talking about a little bit. You speak to, like a lot of comedians, your real life. Yeah. So, like, definitely being a dad, family and jokes and stuff like that. How do you know where and where not to go, where you feel like, this may impact the person I know, so I don't want to, you know, venture here or there?
Oh man, but if it affect me, I kind of don't really care. Like if it make me feel away, like I got a sense of what to say and how to say it. But if it happened, I'm gonna talk about it. So, like, I'm dealing with stuff with my oldest daughter now. She's 13, so she grown now in her mind. So it's like I'm dealing with her going from being 12, a little girl, to now, you know what I'm saying, she want to be sexy red. So now it's like I got to deal with that, and that's gonna affect me. And I mean, how I deal with that, and how she is affected by how I deal with that, as far as just as a dad. But yeah, it's just, bro, stuff come up with that, man. Having a girl that's an anesthesiologist, you know what I'm saying? Like, dealing with all that stuff, bro, it's all about me. But I mean, I know I'm gonna do it in a way to where it's lighthearted, but I mean, it's my life and I gotta speak on it.
So the lightheartedness definitely sometimes, like, because I do think that it's so funny. We had an exchange with somebody we know where they're like, man, Josh sometimes go hard on people. And I'm like, I don't necessarily see it like that. I see you as, you know, how to use facial expressions, laughs, ways where you'll say something real tough.
But that was poet. That was a poet said it. And in their mind, like, I know people who go hard. Like, I've been told that, like, me going at somebody is basically like I disarm people in a way that it's almost like you can't really get as mad at me because it ain't like, I know some people who go hard when I be like I was down there, I seen JD go so hard on some people. I was like, that wasn't even you didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? But he don't have the finesse or know how to really get it off like that. But nah, man, like, I don't ever think, I did have a time where I think I went a little too hard, and Coco pulled me to the side, was like, you went a little crazy. But there was a lot going on that night. It was me, I was getting into it with my girl at the time, and me and Clever got into it. So it was like this audience member was kind of out of bounds and out of pocket. And then when I kind of tried to check him, Dez gave me the light. And I was like, bro, don't light me at my show. Like, this me. Y'all need to check her. I'm big on when somebody is super disruptive. Like, once I get everybody to laugh and they laughing at you, and then all you can do is get even more ignorant. So it's like, oh, well, it's no talking to you now because the crowd laughing, they've turned on you. So now it's like, oh, at this point, then now I just got to destroy you as a human. Like, and then that's your cue as whoever is part of the show. Like, let's just get them out of here and we can give them their money back. Like, I'm big on telling the promoter. Bro, I did that in Grand Rapids where this lady was tripping so tough that I was like, bro, give her and her table the money back and you can take it out the check. But I'm not going to go on if they going to stay in here because they don't deserve it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and perform, and I can go for an hour and a half after they leave, but I'm not. If they still here and then they stayed, or what happened? I left. Pro gave my bread too. Car, I ain't really playing with him nowadays, dog. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't playing no more, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Like, a lot of stuff I'm not putting up with, man. I'm like a single mother of three, bro.
Single mother of three.
When it comes to comedy, bro, it's just certain stuff I done been through, and I know my worth now. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I know my worth.
I know my worth now, dog. In this comedy game, like, bro, you not finna play with me, man. Dog. Like, it's just not a bunch of stuff, bro.
Charleston White would definitely have some crazy over the top concept of that.
Yeah, but I'm just what I'm saying, bro. Like, shout out to Charleston too. He doing comedy. Like, everybody stepping over into the lane, bro, and it's just like cool. And I feel like it's room for everybody. Like, everybody selling out. Everybody doing something somewhere. Do your thing, get your money, and they're gonna be here for however long they're gonna be here, and then they're gonna go on. Because if you don't love it, you can't really be here this long. You ain't gonna stay in comedy if you don't really love this, bro. Like, I wish I could be normal. That's why I be looking at people sometimes who do comedy and be hearing them talk about it. Like, bro, I wish I could just be regular. Y'all, this a hobby for y'all, bro. Like, this is what I was put here to do. For whatever reason, this life God gave me, I don't know what I was in life before, but this is the thing that I got to do, and I cannot stop. Even if I don't feel like getting up and doing it, bro. I get up. I love it that much. I hate it.
Detroit is Different is where you get information, artistry, history, music, and even comedy. Detroit is Different, a home for the culture of Detroit. Visit online at DetroitisDifferent.com today.